What actually separates erotic art from fine art? The answer is not as simple as people often assume. It is not just about nudity, and it is not even about sexuality. The difference lies deeper, in intention, context, interpretation, and the way the human body is presented to the viewer. Erotic art and fine art often share the same subject, the human body. Both can show nudity. Both can explore desire. Both can provoke emotional and physical reactions. But they operate in very different cultural and psychological spaces. Fine art, traditionally, is created with a broader intention. It is not only about arousal or sensual response. It often seeks to explore ideas, beauty, mortality, identity, mythology, power, or the human condition. In fine art, the nude body becomes a symbol, a study, or a philosophical object. A painting of Venus, for example, is not simply about attraction. It is about mythology, divinity, and idealized beauty. The viewer is encouraged to think, to interpret, to reflect beyond the immediate physical reaction. Erotic art, on the other hand, places greater emphasis on sensual experience and emotional intimacy. It often aims to evoke desire more directly. The body is not always framed within mythology or philosophical distance. Instead, it can feel immediate, personal, and intentionally provocative. But even here, erotic art is not automatically less artistic. In many cultures and periods, erotic expression has been deeply tied to ritual, symbolism, and cultural identity. The difference becomes even more complex when we look at art history. In ancient Greece, nudity in sculpture was both idealized and sensual at the same time. Works like those inspired by Aphrodite were admired for beauty but also carried emotional and erotic undertones. In Renaissance Europe, artists like Titian and Sandro Botticelli created works where mythological nude figures existed in a space between sacred beauty and sensual attraction. Was it erotic? Was it fine art? Often, it was both. Even in modern art, the line continues to blur. When Gustave Courbet painted The Origin of the World, some viewers saw pure realism, others saw erotic shock, and others saw philosophical confrontation with truth. The painting refuses to stay in one category. That is what makes it powerful. Context also matters deeply. The same image displayed in a museum is often interpreted as fine art, while the same image outside that context might be labeled erotic or even inappropriate. Museums, galleries, and institutions act as cultural filters, shaping how we interpret the human body. Another important difference is distance. Fine art often creates emotional or symbolic distance between viewer and subject. Mythology, allegory, and composition all soften direct confrontation. Erotic art often reduces that distance, making the viewer feel more immediate emotional or physical presence. But here is the key point. The boundary is not fixed. It shifts across time, culture, and viewer perception. What one society calls erotic, another may call sacred. What one era hides, another displays openly. In the end, the difference between erotic art and fine art is not about the body itself. It is about meaning, it is about intention, and it is about the invisible agreement between artist and audience on how the human form should be seen. Because art is never just what is shown, it is how we are allowed to see it.